So, one topic we did not get into on this past Tuesday's the RCWR Show was the Hulkster, Hulk Hogan, and for very good reason, because that was going to go into an entirely different other topic. It was going to go into so many subchapters, it wasn't even funny, and I did not want to go through that, because that would have been a long show, let me tell you. I think that would have been at least 30 minutes of me talking about that. So, if you guys had noticed in the episode description, I wanted to go on ahead and make that be a YouTube exclusive, so that's what we're doing for you guys right now. And you know, I get it, man. I get that the Hulkster had said those things that he had said in that audio recording and how he referenced black people. He didn't say the N-word ending in the A as an apple. I'm talking about that N-word ending in the hard ER. He went with that one. And you gotta keep in mind, and I think it's just so funny how a lot of people all have very different opinions about this. See, you've got some people, they're able to separate the character that they see in the ring and on their TV and what they've been seeing of that character all these years on their television sets. You got those people that are able to separate that character from the man himself, but then you just have some people that just intertwine the two, and damn it, it's still real to them, right? But look, nobody will ever take away what the immortal Hulk Hogan has done for the professional wrestling industry. Nobody will ever take that away from him without a shadow of doubt. Contributions made to the sport of pro wrestling. Yes, on that Mount Rushmore of wrestling, without a shadow of doubt. However, putting all of that to the side and just talking about the man behind the character, Terry Bollea, let me tell you something. You got to keep in mind that at the time when the recording was first released, that recording was like so many years old. Now we're at the point where I believe that recording is now 10 years old, even though we had only heard about it as it had surfaced just a couple of years ago. But it's now almost 10 years ago that that audio is old, if you will. Okay, so you have to kind of keep all of that in mind from when it initially had went down. But you know, look, regardless of the timeline, when it was released, hell, it could have been released last year or 3 years ago or 5 years ago. That's not the point. The point is, he said what he said. And I know amongst a lot of people, especially those that are black, it is a bit divided as far as the Hulkster. But you know, at the end of the day, what I am more inquisitive on is the thoughts of those that Terry Bollea has worked with in and outside of the business. I care about more about what they have to say than those that honestly have never met the Hulkster, never spent several hours interacting with him. Just go beyond the whole meet and greet. Go beyond the whole, can I get your autograph? Let's just go beyond all of that. I'm more interested in what those who have worked with him many times over the years have to say with regards to him. And take your pick. You have some individuals like Pope D'Angelo De Niro who went on record, hey, yes, that was very shocking what the Hulkster had said, but I tell you what, the Hulkster that had came to TNA, that I had got a chance to talk to and get to know, heck, I'm friends with his family. I had built a very special bond with his daughter, Brooke. Nothing but praises for the Hulkster, and had kind of shedded a little bit of light on what was going on with the Hulkster during that point in his interactions with him down in TNA, which was he was coming off of this divorce, a very bitter divorce. He was stressed out. He was looking for spiritual guidance, advice, life coaching, all of this. So you have Pope D'Angelo De Niro, and I would definitely encourage you guys to go out of your way and check out some of the things that he had said, as he had shined the spotlight on a really cool story that had involved him and a segment with the Hulkster. And I won't spoil it for you guys, but go out of your way, look that up online when you all get a chance. It's a really cool story. And then you have guys like Virgil, who, hey, in case you guys have forgot, was part of the NWO stable over in WCW. You have Virgil who's saying, hey, the Hulkster that I had the opportunity of working with over the years, very shocking to me, really. I didn't know that he was capable of saying such things, because honestly, every time this guy was around me, hey, he was acting accordingly. He was acting like this. Really cool people. This is just wow, right? Let me tell you something, people. Whether you all want to admit it or not, you all say some heinous, fucked up stuff behind closed doors that you know damn well if you were to say it out in public, oh my God, in today's society, you would be under a microscope so bad. So bad it wouldn't even be fun. You would have the SJWs coming at you, pitchforks in the air, and all that, okay? So let's just stop beating around the bush and let's just be real with each other. We all know that once we are behind closed doors with our significant others, with our family members, that's where we are totally at peace. That is where, hey, whatever's going on outside in the world, once you are home, you are in your own place of solitude. You are in your own place of honesty, and you can totally be your true self. So let's stop and let's really get a grip, folks, because I know there's plenty of you out there, but the question is, will you admit it to yourself? That's the real key. Have said some of the most heinous, messed up stuff that pales in comparison to what the Hulkster had said. Okay? I mean, let's be for real here. You're trying to tell me that here in 2018, you, the people that are in such an uproar or whatever, you never said anything so taboo. You never said anything so controversial. You've never said anything that, honestly, your nerves had got the best of you. You were so worked up that you just spewed the first thing that came out of your mouth. You didn't stop and think before you put those words out there and then go, God damn it, what a bullheaded move that I just made. Man, that was stupid. Why did I do that? Why did I say that? What the hell? Let me tell you something, man. We all are not freaking saints. And that's the God's to honest truth. The sooner that we all admit that, the better. Okay, I'm getting sick and tired of seeing people that wanna, come on, seriously. I have come under fire for saying my piece with regards to the whole Hulkster situation and his comments, and I've been labeled, oh, you're just a blind fan that, honestly, his aura and all that, that's what's getting the best of you, you can't see, blah, 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 he's a racist. It's like, I'm sorry, you know Terry Bollea? You have lunch with him every single day. You get to talk to him for a couple of hours on the phone every single day. I'm sorry. So you are basing this opinion on what? Just a couple of seconds or a couple of minutes of a audio clip? That's what you are basing your whole impression. That is what you are basing your whole fact on with regards to labeling somebody. I mean, my God, man, if we were going to be operating like that in this society, we would totally be fucked. And that's the God's honest truth. So let's keep it at 100. I'm like this. The Hulkster was going through a very difficult period in his time. He was going through a very, and before anybody, I'm not making excuses for the man. I am stating the facts. He was going through a very nasty divorce. And it's quite funny because when you go back and you look at the final season of Hogan Knows Best, I mean, it was already unraveling. And it was amazing how the VH1 crew did a really good job in giving you those episodes for that final season. But if you go back and you notice, the Hulkster and Linda, they were never together in the same frame. They were never having dinner and all this other stuff. It was really crazy how they had spliced all of it up together to make it seem as though, oh, no trouble in paradise, right? But he was going through a nasty divorce. This woman wanted all of his money. And then you add on top of that 2 kids that, quite honestly, he may not admit it out loud, but I'm sure somewhere deep down inside, maybe one person that he confides in, maybe his current woman, who knows? But I'm sure there is a part of him that's going, hey man, I wish my kids could just freaking do for themselves. Why do I have to be the one to continue to set the table for them? Why do I have to be the one to continue to put food on the table for them? They are of age. They should be able to go out there and make their own mark. So you go back to that point in time, he's helping out Nick and whatever career path he's trying to embark on. Brooke is trying to be an aspiring singer and it's not really going off too well. He's investing so much time, he's investing so much money, all of his resources to really help out Brooke. And as all of this is going on, his money is just, okay, I need to know where's the next deal that I could get somewhere, right? Where's the next endorsement? You know, what can I plug next? Give me something. What can I loan my name and likeliness to? Come on, I got to keep some type of a cash flow coming in, all right? So you got all of this stuff that's going on. And let me tell you something, when you have been with a person for many, many years and it just starts to get slug out ugly or whatever, I'm telling you, for some people, divorces take their toll on an individual. It really does. Add into that a little bit of alcohol, some drugs on the side and everything, and yeah, your outlook on life can and will definitely change. For sure. For sure. Do I believe in my heart of hearts that the Hulkster is racist? I can't really say. And I can't really say because I don't know him, just like at the end of the day, none of you guys know him. What I can do, though, is take a look at that audio and look at the things that he said. And this is what I have been saying for so many years now, which is we as a society, when we're reading things in an online chat form, or we are reading whatever on social media, or we're reading something that's coming in via text message on our phones, we are allowing ourselves as a society, myself included, as once in a blue moon, I fall victim to it as well. We allow ourselves to fall victim to the first impulse, the first reaction that we feel when we're reading something and or we're hearing something that could easily be taken out of context to meet a certain narrative that maybe certain other people want for you to feel or to think. And we never really take a step back and go, okay, I'm hearing this or I'm seeing this. Now, what's another way I should be looking at this? Now, I must admit that when I first heard about this audio and I listened to it myself and then I read the transcript, honestly, one of the things that I heard, and this is coming from somebody that knows what it's like to go through somewhat of a nasty divorce, especially when it's a situation where you're the one that fought tooth and nail to make the marriage work. You're the one that tried to move heaven and earth to clean your act, right? Because, Lord, if anybody was at one point a poster child for, man, you talk about doing some fucked up shit. Definitely, I had did that. And I'm not going to go through the whole spiel again because it's not really about me. It's about the Hulkster right now. But some people, sadly, they have to fall flat on their face to really realize the hurt that they have caused to other people. Some people have to be given a reality check in order to have self-revelation of, wow, my God, let me take a step back here. You mean to tell me I've been operating like this? This is how I've been conducting myself? Man, this ideology that I've been having, this is so wrong. My woman, good example. White, she is. Parents white. Now, her dad, many years back, because he grew up in the South. When he was a kid, he was taught a certain way with regards to race relations, with regards to dealing with people that were not white. And, you know, he thought for the longest time, okay, well, this is what's up with our race and with these people. Now, he never jumped out there and was going inward this and inward that. He never operated like that. Now, when you had the assassinations of MLK, Malcolm X, the Kennedys, all of that, he was a young man. He was a young man going through that period, and he kind of realized that, okay, you know, the times are a-changing. Racial equality for all, equal rights for all. He was realizing that times were changing, and he started to adapt his ideology a bit. But he still felt that, hey, when it comes to my family, look, if I have to work with people that are not white, I will do whatever I need to do. I'll be buddy chums, whatever. But hey, when it comes to someone that is black or other dating my daughter, that ain't happening. You can forget about it. And he was old school. He was one of those type of people that felt that, hey, if you're white, you need to stay with your own race. If you're black, you need to stay with your own race. But you know, as he got older and he moved up north to the DMV area, that's when he really started to see that, wow, the way I was taught all these years prior by my parents, man, it's so wrong. Wow, you know, he finally had a self-revelation. And as a result of that, he finally warmed up to the idea of, hey, my daughter, she can love whoever she wants to love. You know, race doesn't matter as long as that person treats her good. That's all I ultimately care about. I entered the picture many years after he went through this self-revelation and all of that, and you wouldn't even know it. You wouldn't even know that at one point he had difficulty, or he did not like his daughter dating people outside of their own race. You wouldn't even know it based on how you talk to him. And he is one of those type of individuals. He will help you any way humanly possible. Any way humanly possible. And if it's a situation where he has to give you the shirt off his back and he may end up catching a cold or whatever, he will do it if it means that, hey, I was able to help these guys out because they really needed the help. He will do that. And he's at a point in his life right now where for a couple of years now, he has dated outside of his own race. And I gotta tell you, some of the women, he loves him some chocolate. I must admit, he loves him some chocolate women. He is in a situation now where I gotta give him props. He be dating some fine sisters, I must say. So, I mean, for some people, they can have that self-revelation, and then there's some people that honestly have to be exposed to say, hey, man, look at this. Take a really good hard look at yourself, man. Look at what the hell has become of you. Look at this ugliness that's going down with you, man. Now, look, I got to give the Hulkster a lot of props. Ever since this new girl, after Linda had came in, he has really, and I got to give her a lot of props because whatever she is saying to him, whatever she is doing, I mean, he is really steering the ship in a more positive direction. I can genuinely tell that she's doing her part in keeping him in check, if you will. And I just say continue that. You know, kind of like we all remember where Kurt Angle was. And then once he hooked up with his new wife, now wife and everything, I mean, he's pretty much turned a new leap on life. And he's been really good ever since. You haven't heard or seen him get into any type of trouble, okay? So, I mean, I gotta give the Hulkster a lot of credit. There's no telling how toxic that marriage with Linda was really starting to become. You know, we never really will know unless he really jumps out there and he's very vocal about it. You know, as far as tell all, if you will. But, you know, speaking as someone that has been through a divorce and, you know, you start looking into some really dark places or whatever. But I tell you what, man, when I had the self-revelation of, okay, my divorce isn't working because of XYZ. Look at these things that I'm doing as an individual and why this is not working. Once I had that self-revelation, I had to, okay, well, you know what? I got to take care of me. I got to change me and get myself back to good. And then once I get myself back to good, hey, if I can maybe patch things up, great. If not, well, at least by the time I get ready to move on to the next relationship, I will be okay because I've taken care of myself emotionally, spiritually, and physically. Okay? And it seems that's what is going on with the Hulkster. Now, look, I know that Titus O'Neil, he jumped out there recently and he said, hey, you know what, man? Some of the things that the Hulkster had said, it really rubbed me the wrong way. I'm really not too sure about the apology. Just the way that he had began it, he lost me. When the Hulkster had reference, oh, you got to be careful because there's cameras all over the place. You never know who's recording. I'm paraphrasing here. But in a nutshell, that's what Titus O'Neil had said of the bullet points. And again, remember what I said a few minutes ago, how we as a society, we allow ourselves to hear, see things and feel a certain way. We go off of the first impulse, if you will. And another way that you can look at some of those things that Titus O'Neil highlighted from that locker room conversation that the Hulkster had with them, another way you could look at that is, yes, you know what? In today's society, you do have to be careful, especially if you are a celebrity of any kind. You have to be careful with some of the things that you are saying because you never know. That's the beautiful thing about 2018. That is the beautiful thing about the day and age that we're in right now. The technology that we have is so advanced. You can be in Zimbabwe, you can be in New York, you can be in France, you can be in Canada, anywhere in the world. All you need is a phone, and you are able to tap into what is going on in the lives and careers of some of your favorite celebrities that's out there. If you really want to know the mindset of a person, man, Twitter, Facebook. That's all you need on your phone, and whoever you're following, you can really get great insight into that person. All right? And that's the day and age. I mean, a lot of us were able to get the news and information so fast. Gone are the days where, okay, I'll just wait until the 10 o'clock or the 11 o'clock news comes on and I'll be able to catch up that way. No, I mean, it is just so massive the way that we are going about getting our information these days. And let me tell you something, with the way technology has advanced so much on top of everything else that I just mentioned, you also have to remember that we're in this age now where if a fight goes down, or if there's some type of a natural disaster or whatever, everybody's racing to open up their phones and start recording. Why? Because they want to have that instant celebrity status. They know that what they're looking at is something that, man, if this went viral, oh man, this is going to get so many views. I'm going to get credited. I'm probably going to want to be interviewed. All of that type of jazz. All right. So yeah, the Hulkster does bring up a good point that you do have to be careful as far as what you say and what you do. And that couldn't ring more truer, because think about it from this standpoint. You look at the iCloud leaks and Android, and phones are able to get hacked. You got revenge porn that's put out there, intimate videos and photographs that's being put out there online. Yeah, you do really have to be careful about, one, the technology that you use, what you're putting on that technology, and then most importantly, you have to be careful with some of the people that you're interacting with. What the Hulkster said in that meeting was definitely real. Because you look at what went down with Paige. Paige is a very good example, okay? Say what you will about Paige, but you know what? Paige did what she did with Xavier Woods, Brad Maddox, and Lord only knows who else, right? And that was recorded. Now, you know what? I wouldn't be too surprised if it was a situation where those parties involved on that wild night or nights, what have you, because there's no telling how long they were doing that, right? There's no telling how long they had those arrangements in place. They could have just, hey, oh man, that was a really great session. Hey, you recorded all that, right? Okay, well, send it to my inbox when you can, because man, I'd really love to look at that. Or whatever, or maybe one person out of the group, maybe one person just wanted a souvenir, or what have you, okay? But you would like to believe that with regards to Paige, that she didn't think in her wildest dreams that something like that would ever be released. And yet, it was released. So, yeah, the Hulkster does bring up a really good point about you gotta be careful what you say and what you do, because you never know who's recording. In this case, Paige knew that recording was going on, but to honestly think that she was truly going to be okay and this type of content was never going to see the light of day, she sadly was wrong on so many levels. Right? But you do have to be very careful. You really do. And I'm like this, man. We all have made mistakes in our life. I'm definitely man enough and adult enough to say, hey, I've made my share of mistakes. I'm probably going to continue to make my share of mistakes before I leave this earth. But, you know, I would hope that when I make these mistakes, I am not put under such a microscope that I'm not redeeming of a second chance. Because let me tell you something. At the end of the day, we all, boys and girls, we all make mistakes. We do some of the most stupidest, what was I thinking, type of moves. And it's like, wow, I don't blame you for not forgiving me. I wouldn't forgive myself either. But you know, all of us have made mistakes. And at some point in our lives, Somebody said, you know what? I'm going to give you a second chance. Some of us have gotten that second chance and we've done very well for ourselves. Some of us have gotten third, fourth, even fifth chances, and we're continuing to do okay. Some of us just continue to get multiple chances because so many people want for us to succeed, and they see redeeming qualities. They see the good qualities, and you know what? This person is truly capable of being a good person. I just got to work with them. I know they're capable of it. I don't want to give up on them just yet. And if I were to look at just the entire career of one Terry Bollea, and this is pretty much one of maybe 3 instances in his entire life, because he's now, what, 64, going on 65 or whatever? If I can only recall 3 incidents in his entire life where he's made headlines, and he's been around for this many decades, I'd say, you know what, that's a pretty damn good record. I think I might take that record any day of the week that we know of, where he's been shown in a negative light, right? And look, man, at the end of the day, whether or not he's racist, I personally feel that the verdict is still out. The verdict is still out. But what he's been doing these past couple of years, I tell you what, I like what I'm seeing. And at the end of the day, when you're given that second, third, fourth chance, the world is watching. It's not so much, wow, of the news. It's, okay, let's see how you now conduct yourself after this. Let's see how you're able to dust yourself off and get back out there in life swinging. That's what really counts. And I tell you what, man, there are more bigger fish to fry right now in this society, because, hello, anybody forget about Colin Kaepernick and why he took that knee initially? It was because of the social injustice that was going on in this world. Now, more than ever, race relations, I'm not liking what I'm seeing. I'm really not liking what I'm seeing. I mean, there's so much ugliness that's going on in this world right now that it isn't even funny. And on top of that, you look at the police killings of black men, in most cases unarmed black men. Some can make the argument that it's a situation where you have police officers that are simply just abusing the badge because they can't stand people of color, be it a man or a woman. You have cops or those in law enforcement in general that are just corrupted. Boys and girls, there is more important things that we should be tackling right now, and I think we really need to shift our focus onto that instead of whether or not, oh, this person here, you know, they're racist. Or I'm like this, at the end of the day, if you passionately feel, and you're entitled to your own opinion, that's what makes this country, America, so damn great, is that you have an opinion, I have an opinion, we disagree, we have a meeting of the minds. Even if it's a situation where I don't agree with what you have to say, you don't agree with what I'm saying, then we agree to disagree. I want to see a return to basics. There was a time where we would be able to go back and forth and have these meeting of the minds, but now we have these new millennials, people that are at 25 or under. It's just about their voice. Nothing else matters. You can't tell them anything different because they're seeing it this way. And they feel as though, oh, well, because you're saying it like this, you're a fanboy. And that's farther from the truth. Talk to me when you get pulled over by the police because you're black. Talk to me when you get pulled over from the police because you match the description of someone that basically is black. And that's why you're being harassed, is because you're black. Talk to me when you experience those type of hardships. Talk to me when you're walking down the street with friends and a car drives by you and you're called the N-word ending in the hard ER. Talk to me when you have situations like that going down. But to try to act like, you're Dr. Phil and you know about the life of Terry Bollea because of stuff that you've read online and stuff that you've heard that can easily be taken out of context, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That just, any day of the week, that's always, for me, going to fall on deaf ears. It's okay to have a disagreement. Have a meeting of the minds. But don't try to continue to force your will. Don't try to force the way you feel on to other people, because that's not how democracy works. It's just not. And it's always going to be a stalemate when one is acting like a stubborn bull, as far as I'm concerned. But there are so many more other important things that we should be focusing on. At the end of the day, look, if the Hulkster's words really affected you, I would say you have a decision to make. Either you do not support the Hulkster at all, or you do. And if you're that passionate about, man, what the Hulkster had said, blah, 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 all I have to say is be consistent. Block him all throughout social media. When you find out that he's going to be in your area for a meet and greet, don't do the meet and greet. If you're going to an event and you find out he's going to be there signing autographs, doing photo ops, you want to go to that event, make sure you don't go to his lines. If you were to see him walking down the street, pretend you don't even recognize him. Walk on by. Be consistent. And sadly, when you break it down like that, there are so many people that are not going to do that. So many people that are not going to do that. They're going to, oh my God, it's the immortal Hulk Hogan. Oh my God, oh my God. Oh, hey man, I'm a big fan of yours. Can I get your autograph? There are so many people that's going to be jumping out there like that. You know, that's how it is. Let's be real. You know they're going to roll like that.